Go.
This is Katie McQueen reporting live from Devil's Den with Philip Allen Shaw. And my first question is, can you tell us how this morning is going?
Well, this morning is quite delightful here in the Den of the Devil. We have been spelunking in the caves with bat droppings, and now we're just enjoying the scenic view up on the ridgeline.
And how far into the trail would you say that you are at this point?
6 2/3 miles.
Approximately
6
approximately 6 miles, my associate is telling me, and I believe the elevation is 439 feet.
You are 6 miles into a 3-mile trail.
6 2/3.
Well, there are a number of switchbacks today. It's really hard telling, and the weather conditions are making things a bit treacherous on the climb, but we're trying to manage the best we can.
What is your plan after this interview?
I think we'll walk a bit further and see if we can discover any of the natural wildlife.
And what about the rivers and streams?
Oh, plenty of rivers and streams, quite treacherous this time of year. Lots of fish and turtles swimming about, mating birds, you know, the whole scene.
Have you seen any white-nose syndrome in bats?
I've not seen any of the white nose, but several blue nose today, several blue.
What is blue nose?
Well, it's a species from Australia, and it's migrated into the Netherlands via the Dutch colonies in northern Michigan, transferred by the ecological weight system, and now here in southwestern northern Arkansas.
Thank you for your time, Philip Allen Shaw. This is Katie reporting live from the campfire, and we are with Eagle Scout Clay Grogan, and he's showing us how to build a fire. Clay, what advice do you have for us right now?
Start small. Get any type of really flammable paper. Lint from your dryer works really well. Don't crumple it up too much, as we just discovered. Don't crumple up the paper towels too much. It won't catch fire. It'll be actually smothering it. And make sure you have a lot of twigs on hand before you get started, so it can really get burning, because it'll burn out really quick. I like to start off with a teepee. Just keep going from there.
Can you tell us about other strategical options besides the teepee?
You can do the log cabin. You can do the random tossing of wood onto it. You can get as fancy as you want.
How long have you been building fires?
Since I was since I was but a young lad.
And at what point does it border on pyromania?
Pyromania.
Start throwing batteries and or putting flammable liquids into your mouth and spitting them into the fire is when it becomes pyromania.
What other safety precautions should we be aware of?
You should always have a bucket of water on hand, which we do, strategically placed near the picnic table.
Can you tell me why there are green flames?
It's all about the chemistry, baby. All about the chemistry. When the molecular bonds inside the wood are bound by energy, the heat from the flame breaks that energy apart, and that energy is released in the form of light. Now, according to quantum mechanics,
Light.
the leap that electrons make from energy levels determines the color of the flame. They're excited to different energy levels, and it produces different colors of flame. So hotter parts of the flame are exciting electrons to an even higher energy level, and it releases blue flame, whereas the yellow flame is cooler because the electrons aren't at that excited energy state.
And that gets me excited too.
Indeed, I love chemistry. Who doesn't? One last tip. This will get your flame going really good. Shazam. Grogan out. That means cut.
I'm trying to.
You know,
we
whatever
on?
happens, happens.
No, don't worry
So
about
let's
it.
have a lights, camera, action. Okay,
What do you
want
want to
this
talk about? He's by far the pickiest.
Need
Philip,
that
you got that
flashlight.
under control? Lights. Lights.
Just hand it over here.
Oh,
I got it.
Please don't turn the
Lights,
light off
camera, action.
again. Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay, this is Katie reporting for FPC Empire Small Group in Devil's Den, Arkansas. I'm here with Will Mangrum. Will, say hello.
Hello.
And I'd like to ask him first, what is your overall view on how this trip is going?
It's going well. Philip is keeping us in line. Katie earns many gold medals at the awards banquet because of the cabin and all of the events. And the food's great. We're in the natural state. The state of Arkansas, the best state in the union.
Arkansas is a natural. Is that correct?
The natural state.
Is it a natural?
It's always a natural.
Can you tell us a little bit about, you were teaching somebody to drive, what would be your top 3 tips?
Well, first off, everyone needs to use their seatbelts. The other thing is you should utilize a first forward movement, and that does not require a backing policy. That just means your first movement should be forward. The reason why is how many people have seen 2 cars back into each other at a convenience store because, yeah, so that's the other thing.
What if there's a house?
And the other thing is the 3-second distance between you and other vehicles.
What if while you're counting that 3 seconds, you're not watching the person's brake lights and you hit them?
Well, that's why you steer high and leave yourself an out, according to Smith's driving.
What is steer high?
1 second, we can go through all the Smith driving 5 tips here.
Question omitted.
I know what steer high
Tell
is.
us about the 5 S's.
Okay, so here's the 5 tips to driving. First, aim high in steering. Get the big picture.
This is Katie reporting for Empire Small Group from the top of a trail, the name of which I'm not sure. With the beautiful scenic look behind us. I'm here with Jason Abercrombie from Empire Small Group. Jason, what would you like to tell us about this weekend?
Well, I think we've had the chance to do a lot of different and interesting things. We've been hiking. We learned about paddle boats, and especially the fact that they're very difficult to operate.
They're harder than you might expect.
Definitely so. We're still not sure why.
With your current knowledge of paddle boats, how much would you attribute our difficulties to the equipment versus the nature of all paddle boats in general?
I felt like these paddle boats in particular were quite old, and they also didn't have a seat adjustment where you could make the leg distance longer, and I felt like that was possibly a major source of difficulty.
Yeah. I would have to add that I could have used some padded seats. I don't know how you felt about that.
That didn't really bother me. I've got some of my own padding, probably more than you do.
And what do you think the probability of a paddle boat going over the dam would be?
I would say quite low. Perhaps in the rainy season, higher.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add about our weekend? What was your favorite meal?
Well, that is kind of hard to say. I really enjoyed the corn last night.
Corn.
Yeah, I enjoyed corn grilled right on the grill.
Even though yours wasn't done?
Mine was actually pretty done.
Okay.
More so on one side.
Okay. And if you could change anything about this weekend, what would you have changed?
That's a tough one. I was going to say a heavy rain last night would have been nice, and we still may experience that.
Katie and Jason, over and out.